In this video, I'm going to go over some fragrances. Some of them have been out for a little while, some of them are a little bit newer, that I think you need to get your nose on the originals. Some of them have been cloned a lot, and before you go out and go get the clones, you need to get kind of the palette of what the originals smell like. So I have 6 of them in front of me. Every single one of these is really an amazing scent, and it starts right now. Hey there guys and girls, I'm Peter from Central. On this channel I talk about fragrances, designer, niche, perfumers, so on and so forth. So if you're into fragrances or you just want to smell great, consider subscribing. You know how to do that. Like, love, share, all those wonderful things that help me grow this channel. I want to thank you in advance. Don't want to keep you too much longer, so let's get right into it. And the first one we're going to talk about is a fragrance that recently has gotten some bad publicity. Now, publicity, or the bad publicity, claims that the perfumers were actually not behind, or the owners of the company were actually not behind the fragrances. And I'm talking, of course, about the Creed fragrance Aventus, or I guess Creed in general. This book claims that they weren't behind it, that it's all made up. Now, I did a poll on my channel, and 12% of you guys said that that's awful, you can't believe it. 26% said you have to do more research, which is respectable. And then 19% said that you always thought there was something up with that. And then 29% said it doesn't matter, I still love Creed. And then only 14% said, hey, I'm done with Creed. Now, for me personally, I love the brand. I don't really care whether they've been around since, 1760 or whatever it was. I don't really care. I really enjoy the fragrances, and I especially love the original, or the 2010 release that was called Aventus, or is called Aventus still to this date. I really enjoy this fragrance because it makes me feel like $1,000,000 when I wear it. You have some pineapple in the opening. You're going to have some bergamot. There's a little bit of black currant in the opening, so it has a little bit of a tang to it. But it's very fresh. It's very fruity. It also has a little bit of an apple note. Those are the top notes. And then as it dives down, you have some birch, some patchouli, some Moroccan jasmine, and some rose in the middle. But the best thing about this fragrance, other than its scent itself, is as it dries down, it has a really, to me, it smells like real ambergris. I know people say that you can't use ambergris nowadays, but to me, whatever is used in here as the ambergris, which I think it's real ambergris, smells absolutely phenomenal. Now, at $425 a bottle for 100 ml, I think, or something like that, you might be able to get it online for just a little bit a better price. And it's probably going to go either up or down, depending on what this new book is, how it's going to work out. It doesn't matter to me. I love the brand. Now, you can go out and you can get some clones. You can get things like Club de Nuit Intense, or you can get, L'Aventure, by Al Haramain. You can get this one, or you can get one that's probably the closest one that smells very similar to the original. But I tell you that none of these, not even this one, even though it's the closest one, are going to be as amazing and as good as the original, the real Creed Aventus. That's why I think if you haven't tried it, if you've been a clone person that smells sort of like it, then you need to go out and actually spray this on your skin and wear it. And I'll promise you, there's nothing that beats the original. And that's why it's in the first spot for me. It's Creed Aventus. You need to get your nose on it if you haven't had your nose on it yet. Came out in 2010, been out for a little while. I still love wearing this fragrance. It's absolutely amazing year-round. The next one is going to be one from Parfums de Marly. And of course, the fragrance is Layton by Parfums de Marly. Now, Layton was created in 2016 by Hamid Maradi Kashani. The top notes in this fragrance are going to be apple. There's a little bit of lavender in there. Orange and a little bit of bergamot as well. Let's give this one a spray. It's a fabulous spray. It's such a beautiful fragrance. You have some geranium, some violet in the middle, some jasmine. Now, all of these that I have here are going to be a little bit on the pricier side. I guess every single one of them, I would say, is probably niche, since they don't have designer labels behind them. But, you know, that's why I said you need to get your nose on it, on the originals, before you go out and you buy, you know, the clones or something that smells alike. Because the originals are really super exceptional. And any of these you could almost wear, or pretty much wear all year long as signature scents, because they're that good and that versatile, and every single one of them lasts you all day. The base notes in here is going to be some vanilla, some cardamom. There's a little bit of sandalwood in there, you know, and it dries down really beautiful. Although this one is a little bit on the linear side, but it's a beautiful scent, original, and this one really pops. It really is kind of loud, and you can really smell it amazingly all day long. Now, there is a Layton exclusive. I'll also have that one here in front of me. That came out a little bit later. And if you want this fragrance, if you want Layton, but you want it to be a little bit greener, maybe there's a little bit of oud in here, I believe. If you want the breakdown comparing these two, of what the real difference is between Layton and Layton Exclusive. This one is even more expensive than this one, because it comes, you know, I believe they do sell a 100 milliliter bottle now, but they used to not, only 75. I will link a video up here where I compared those two note for note and what I think of them. But for the sake of this video, I think Layton by itself is still worth the buy. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's not that old, 2016. You know, it's, what is that, 5 years, 6 years? And, you know, fragrances, good fragrances will be around for a while. So definitely get your nose on Layton, and don't go, before you go out and buy something that smells like Layton. Get onto the original. The next one is going to be one that is really, really an amazing, beautiful, soft scent that when you wear it all day long, you kind of just keep smelling yourself. It's so amazing. And it is going to be one by Xerjoff. And the one that I'm talking about from Xerjoff is going to be Casamorati 1888. This fragrance came out in 2013. It's been out a while. Of course, you know, I could have used other ones like Alexandria 2 or something. Now, in this fragrance, you're going to have notes like, I actually have them on the back here. I believe this was a tester I got here. It's you have some coriander, some cloves, some green pepper, some Italian saffron. You also have some rose from Grasse, Moroccan neroli, Indonesian ylang ylang. And the base notes, you'll have some sandalwood, patchouli, amber, Russian birch tree, it says on here. This fragrance is really beautiful and smooth, and it's a little bit on the powdery side, but it's a beautiful rose smell. So I'm going to give this one a spray, because I actually really love the way this one smells. Nice soft sprayer, and I do like 3 or 4 of this one, and I really enjoy it all day long. Now you gotta like the rose a little bit. If you're not a rose fan, then this one is probably, you know, not gonna be your scent. But I think for me, the price of this one is completely worth it. I love wearing this fragrance all day long. It doesn't matter if it's summer, winter. In the summer, I go a little bit easier on it. It's easier worn in the winter time, and it's a little bit cooler, because it does get quite strong in the summer. But the rose note in here is beautifully blended with the carnation in here, and there's also some pepper. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's a fragrance that you need to get your nose on in the realm of niche. It's Casamorati from 2013 from the company called Xerjoff. It's a beautiful scent, and I'll absolutely love wearing this one. It's another one that you need to get your nose on. The next one is going to be one that is sweet, very sweet, almost smells like cotton candy. To me, most of these are unisex. I have friends that, female friends that wear Layton, believe it or not. I don't have anybody that wears Creed that's a female, but Casamorati 1888, I think it's 100% unisex. The next one is also, to me, I like wearing it. And if you see the bottle, it's almost gone. I got a little bit left in it. I think I'm going to repurchase it because I really enjoy wearing it. And it is going to be Baccarat Rouge 540 from the house of Francis Kirkjohn. This fragrance was created in 2015, and as far as the note breakdown is concerned, you have some jasmine, you have some saffron, there's a little bit of amberwood, there's also some ambergris in the center of this fragrance, and as it dries down, it has some fir resin and some cedar. Now, those are all the notes that I can see that are listed in it. I'm sure there's tons more, but this one right here smells like an exquisite, expensive cotton candy, and it smells 10 times better on the skin when you wear it. I mean, I always get compliments when I wear Baccarat Rouge 540. Now, you can also, there's clones out there, you know, things like Ariana Grande's, you know, Cloud comes somewhat close, but nowhere near the original of what this thing is. So you need to really go out and try Baccarat Rouge 540, try it on your skin, and you will see what I mean. It's absolutely gorgeous. The next ones, I have 3 left, and they're equally wonderful, and you need to get your nose on each and every one of them before you go out and buy something that smells like it. And this next one is going to be by a niche house called Micallef. And Micallef has a fragrance that they came out with in 2019, an absolute stunner. It's Toxic Desire or DesirToxic. This bottle right here looks phenomenal on your shelf. I mean, you can just put that out. It's a piece of artwork in itself. The notes in here are going to be bergamot, cardamom, lemon at the very top. Here, let's give this one a spray as well. You're going to have some blackcurrant, some cannabis in the middle. Now, you don't really get the scent of the cannabis. It's not going to smell like, you know what I mean. Tonka bean and cinnamon also in the middle. Absolute beautiful. You don't need a lot of sprays of this one. Now, I have to say, this one kind of a little bit smells along the line of, you know, Parfums de Marly Layton, but it has a little bit of a classic scent behind it. It does smell, it's a modern scent, but there is definitely a maturity in this fragrance that I absolutely love. You know, in the base, you're going to have some oak moss, benzoin, musk, and some patchouli. It's an absolute gorgeous scent, and all of these smell elegant, and they all smell like money. If you want to smell fabulous, get yourself Micallef DesirToxic, and you will smell absolutely wonderful. The next one that I'm going to suggest that you need to get your nose on before you buy anything that smells like it is going to be one by a German fella or Austrian, I can't remember. It is Andy Tauer, and it's a fragrance that's been around for a while, but there is nothing out in the fragrance market that smells like Dessert de Marocain, I think it is. The fragrance is actually called L'air du Dessert Marocain, and I guess the Moroccan air or something like that. The perfumer is Andy Tauer, and it's a fragrance from 2005. And it's a smaller bottle. I think this is a 50 ml, and it is, you know, cost you quite a bit to get this. Also, it's a little bit harder to get if you're in the United States. You definitely have to order it from a reputable seller. But this fragrance right here is going to be like something you haven't smelled before. If you haven't tried this, if you don't have this one, there's nothing in the stores that you can get that smells like this fragrance. It is one of a kind. To me, this is perfumery at its best. I mean, it's completely something unique and 100% niche quality. For 2005 fragrance, smells like the Saharan desert and, you know, the Moroccan air. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's deep, it's dense. You can wear this one all year long. It works great in the summer just with a couple of sprays. You can also wear this one when it's cold outside. It's nice, it's dense. You get this on your skin and you can smell this a day later and still you can tell what was on there. And it smells so unique that it doesn't dry down into something else that you have. It literally stays in its own family. Like some of the notes in here are going to be cumin, lavender, coriander at the very top. Now the cumin doesn't smell like you know like in food, like it's heavy and dense and it smells like you haven't washed in a while or something like that. No, it doesn't smell that way at all. It's expertly blended to perfection. You're going to have some labdanum, some jasmine, some birch, and some geranium in the center of this fragrance. and cedar, vetiver, patchouli, oak moss, and amber in the base. Now, I can read you the notes all day long. It will not bring across how awesome and wonderful this fragrance is. L'air du Marocain, L'air du Désert Marocain is a beautiful fragrance from Andy Tower. You have to get your nose on it. If you ever see this one standing somewhere, go ahead and get yourself a dab and you will not regret it. It's one of those fragrances you gotta go out and try in the niche world. Now the next one and the last one on this list is also one that I think you need to go out and really get a whiff of it. It is called Creation E, and it's by Roja Dove. And I have the cologne version of it. It's a little bit lighter than the original, and I am perfectly happy with the Parfum cologne version. And it's going to be this beauty right here. We're also gonna give this one a spray because it is just absolutely phenomenal. It came out in 2019. It's a little bit newer. The bottle itself, I mean, look at this. It's beautiful, shiny. You can look through it. It looks kind of ambery. The top is, autographed by Roja Dove. It's engraved. It's not actually his autograph. It's his autograph, but it's engraved. It's a beautiful bottle. Looks great, and it totally looks worth the money, and it is. Let's see. Let's take that off. Really beautiful fragrance. I wore this one to a friend of mine's daughter's engagement party, and there were probably about 200 people there. And I decided to wear this one to kind of commemorate the, I guess, moment in time. And I had, that evening alone, I probably got 5 compliments from people that I didn't know that just said, you know what, you smell absolutely amazing. What is it? And usually you don't garner that many compliments in one evening or one day at all. But with this fragrance, it is bubbly, it is sweet, it is sexy, it is just absolutely phenomenal. You have some cognac, you have some vanilla, there's some benzoin in here. There's also going to be some ambergris in this fragrance. And it just stays beautiful the time, even when it dries down. It's kind of linear, but it's just an absolutely gorgeous scent. You're going to have some sandalwood, patchouli, some ginger. There's also a little bit of tobacco in here. So it's bright and fuzzy with, the florals, the jasmine, and the heliotrope in the top, and a little bit of rose. Perfectly and expertly blended. It's a phenomenal scent. It's Creation E or Enigma, depending on where you live. A beautiful scent. You got to get your nose on it and spray it on your hand and smell this one for a while. It's 100% unique and a super creation for Roja Dove. Gotta try this one. Actually, I think you should try each and every one of the ones that I had picked out here. Whether it's the Creed or the Parfums de Marly, Layton, the Creed Aventus, still try it. I know it's 2010, but you still got to go out and give the original, the king of all fragrances, people call it. You still got to give it a try if you haven't yet. Many of you have, I know. Casamorati from Xerjoff, beautiful, little bit of a powdery scent, got some rose in it. Absolutely gorgeous, extremely sexy. If you want to smell sweet, absolutely freaking gorgeous, like cotton candy that you just want to eat, smells great on the skin, go with Baccarat Rouge 540. 100% unisex in my eyes. Micallef DesirToxic or Toxic Dessert, absolutely wonderful. A fragrance that has a little bit of an older vibe, modernized, but an absolutely gorgeous masculine scent for a man of today. And of course, if you want to smell like, the Moroccan desert, fabulous scent from a little while ago. I think, what would you say, 2005 is what we said. And beautiful scent if you haven't got your hands on it. It's a little bit harder in the US if you live in the US, but if you can get yourself a little sample, even a little small one, if you get yourself, that will last you. All you need is a couple of dabs all day long. It's really a wonderful scent to just wear around here. Absolutely beautiful. And of course, Creation E, the perfume cologne for me is plenty. And it's a little bit cheaper than the full Parfum. So I hope you enjoyed this rundown of some fragrances that I think you need to go out and get the original before you go out and buy any clones or anything that smells alike, because the originals are worth every penny. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I want you to take good care of yourself, always smell nice, and I will talk to you soon. Until then, Centrail.